Hey, welcome back to the podcast. So today, I really wanted to get into the conversation about taking care of yourself and what it means to take care of yourself and how that looks. I think a lot of times we think that like taking care of ourselves is so simple, like going to the gym, eating vegan, or you know, running every single day. And over my last couple years of coming out of a very dark and hostile depression, I've really had to come into the space of acceptance and love in conversation. And I've noticed that you need three basic things to keep your life in alignment. And those things are keeping the temple, okay, the physical body clear, keeping the mind clear, and keeping the spirit clear. And so I want to talk about the spirit, okay, and how we can get in touch and how we can get in conversation with the spirit. And the way that we can do that is first and foremost by connecting back with our ancestors, connecting back with the mother, connecting back with Pachamama. And we can do this through, ceremony. We can do this through community building. We can do this through actively expressing love to our temple. Um, so I think like building an ancestral altar is one of the first things that I really did to get connected in my spiritual life. And the way that you do this is simple, okay? You take a light colored cloth, like cream or white, and you place it on a small table in your room. And from there, you can add like some feathers for air, the element of air. You can add rocks or minerals or, stones and gems like lapis or carnelian or, selenite. And you can place that on even seashells. I have seashells like all over my house. And that just calms me. It's very cooling energy, but it's connected to earth. Next, you'll need a bowl or a cup of some sort of water. And this is for the element of water, which is the flowing connection that the divine makes with us through our consciousness. Water is oftentimes known to carry messages. And if you need that ancestral message, you're going to need water to fuel that conversation. And finally, there's a candle for open fire. You can use a tea light candle. You can use a 7-day candle and light that baby up, okay? And watch the fire glow and watch it flicker when communication is being made. And then I love to have pictures, 333 on my clock right now. I love to have pictures of my ancestors, my grandmother, my grandfather, my matriarch, the woman I bow to and love so dearly, and has instilled an understanding of myself into me. I have her as my forefront of my altar, and I really feel I connect to her the most. And then I have pictures of other aunts and uncles and family members that have passed that I give my thanks to, that I give my offering to. This is a way to connect with your family tree, your family lineage, and understanding that when you are in connection with your lineage, with your ancestors, you are giving your temple a chance to open up and work with you to open the doors and the opportunities that you are looking for to stay protected and grounded into your body, into your knowing of solitude, knowing you are very well and deeply taken care of, not only by the universe, but by the ancestors that have died and gave birth to us in this vessel. And so ancestry is very important. It's a very, very important um, initiation into working with spirits, with working with divination, and truly understanding what you are doing and what is your path here and where you come from. Because most of the best parts about learning in this journey of how powerful you are is about knowing how powerful your lineage was. And not only to the bad things, because you will learn things that were bad, that were held in your family or as seen as bad, but there's also the good that brought your family into love. And so we recognize that through our ancestry, we can actually understand the duality of our human vessel, um, of our blood, and understand 555 that we have the ability to transcend and change from the single version of our lineage. So our lineage is here to give us the secrets to living a life of longevity, of, staying true to the intuition that is bred into us, while also being open to experience a vast new way of living in life. Um, so that's just one way to get started on your spiritual journey, is really connecting with your ancestry. And if you'd want to learn more about that, I will for sure talk about that. And yeah. So yeah. Anyways, the next thing, like some simple things that I do on a daily basis would be like, I start my morning off with prayer. And that is me just, hey God, thank you so much for waking me up out of bed today. Thank you for just uplifting my soul and showing me the way. And, I know I'm not really, I don't really know. I don't really know which way to go, but I know you're leading me and I'm going to follow you because you ultimately hold the best secrets. You ultimately hold the best knowledge for me. And I trust that you're going to lead me to my happiest of landings. My most present state of being is led through you. Um, just conversation, communication, and gratitude is a way to shift your elevation. So when we're in a state of sadness or in low vibration, this could be from a myriad of things, right? Like not eating a variety of fruits and vegetables and meats and butters and all of that into our diet, so we're depriving our physical temple of the things that it enjoys in order to build energy, in order to really perform in the way it needs to, in the way that it should. But you're also now, you're giving life to your day. And something as simple as that, like, we don't understand how strong the power of words are. And when we start using words to open up opportunity and beauty and gratitude into our day, we actually get to experience a new way of being in this life that expands us and allows everything to be a mystery and everything to be a surprise, and that creates wonder and joy in our being. So yeah, speaking life over your day. That's how we start, right? And then from there we actually move into a space of um, meditation, and it's simply where we just surrender back into that state of a dead man's pose or being completely blanked out, and we're surrendered in breath. And this can look like doing breath work where it's heavy, intense. Maybe there's energy that's been stacked up, especially in the heart, or I like get mine right here in between my scapula, and it feels so tight. And then you and you feel everything just blow out of this space because you're pushing it and pushing it out and down, and you're opening up for more expansion, more elevation throughout the body on a cardiovascular level, okay, on a cellular level, on a neurological level. So this is an important way to begin your day. So any of those emotions that you are holding on to can just be released. It opens you up to peace and gives you a solid start so you don't have to go through your day with any anxiety. Um, And it doesn't have to be breath work, right? It could just be a simple meditation. It could be you holding a crystal in your hand and, just speaking life over your day and your spirit. And that can just elevate you too. Um, I think another way to be elevated in high vibrational is drinking a lot of water and staying hydrated. I take my water and I put pink quartz or rose quartz, pink quartz, and clear quartz in my water. Clear quartz gets rid of negative energies. It clears out toxins and it brings an overall sense of clarity and peace over your body. I think it also has a little bit of a cooling effect. Wow. And rose quartz is the highest vibration of love for me. And I speak affirmation into my water saying, I love myself and I'm glowing. I'm happy. Today feels intentional. Today feels good. I feel sunny, right? And that opens up my water and it gives me those affirmations. It gives me that structure that I'm creating through speaking to the water, through spelling. And I'm giving that back to myself. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm like smiling. I'm like, ooh, I am love. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy. So that's how like we as the physical work with nature in order to give us the necessary grounding we need, love we need, affirmation we need. We get to work with Mother Nature in order to create a better reality for ourselves. And that is how we actually evolve as a species, is knowing that we have the power to work with nature, not against it. And it really starts with just giving a fuck about it, right? Um, don't be an asshole and like eat something and then throw your shit out the window, right? Like that's showing Mother Nature that you're disrespecting her or that you don't see her for who she is, right? It's kind of how women are degraded in society, right? A man comes into her life and they just show her all the woo woo, and then, after they win her over, then they start dumping on her and, hurting her. And that's what we do to Mother Nature. Oftentimes we forget that she's living and breathing just like we are. And just because she doesn't speak to us in the way that we understand doesn't mean that she doesn't feel. And she feels the lower energies. She feels the separation that's occurred between us. And that separation is what is actually causing you to break away from the truth that you are. Because lower vibrations are lower densities are really just the disillusion of the delusion of the belief that we are separate from nature. We are nature, and through creating nature, we create nature in our body. We create babies, right? We create ways of being. We create new identities. We create new ways of identifying with ourselves and with the world. But we never seem to find a way to identify with nature, who our bodies are most mimic like. So we have to start understanding the power that is held within our belief systems and in our values and in the way that we view and base our worth off of. Because our worth tells nature of our gratitude. And when we're gratitude, nature gives us abundant weather. It gives us great soil. Nature gives us a better understanding of how existence occurs through the ability to flow. It's quite beautiful when you recognize that nature really flows off the vibration of love. I feel like even in my home, my vegetables last longer or my fruit lasts longer outside the fridge because the vibration of love is flowing in this home. And I bow to this. Like keeping your house really clean is another way to bow to Mother Nature and saying, thank you for giving me this property, this space where I can commune, where I can retreat, where I can find love in myself, in like burrow in this cocoon and find peace still. So that comes when we give respect and we give openness and, just it's like put some respect on your name by keeping your home clean. Um, Put some respect on your home. Put some respect on nature for giving you and supporting your home structure. There's people who have lost their whole home has collapsed in Miami, Florida, because there wasn't structure in there. And so we really create the structure by the vibration that we feed into our homes, that we feed into our pets, that we feed into our friendships, that we feed into our temple. And when we can recognize that this is home, that we created, we actually will see a higher vibration of earth happening where um, we can stand in an abundance of love and make decisions with the heart at the forefront of them instead of our ego. But that comes with the more that we decide to break down those barriers and speak that love into us so we can stop the separation. It's like I see it as like a molecule, and this is another molecule, and they're like touching each other like this. And this is this like low vibration that's like, oh, Kim Kardashian's with Pete Davidson. And then this one's like, I need to go into the mountains and just listen to the streams and dance with Mother Nature and listen to the wind and run naked with my feet just barefoot in the earth. So if we can take that distraction of what they're doing and recognize that Spirit already has something for us here, we can really create this beautiful heart of love, of non-separation, of creation. And it all starts with us. It all starts with us wanting to change that knowledge, and that literally starts at the very home that is your own. Your very temple, your very body, your very structure, your very like essence right now is asking for you to come home. And that's just like, stop making these destructive decisions, that don't serve your highest good. Stop making these, you know, beliefs that you're not worthy of better. You can't be better, because the moment that you start telling yourself you can, that you are, you're telling the universe to start giving you everything you want, because you're no longer settling for less. And I think that's what this self love is. It's no longer settling for less. It's saying, I am betting on myself because there's no other way that I'm going to live my life in slavery, in, fear, in an entanglement with this wound. It's truly about stepping into another timeline and just stepping into your power and your existence. And you recognize that truthfully, not everybody is worthy of your existence. That's how magnetic you are. That's how brilliant you are. And that comes with the ability to be alone. Because in solitude, we actually end up finding a higher side of ourselves that is able to better serve the collective and serve our friendships and serve our community when we are taking care of ourselves. We can't keep trying to build on a platform with no sturdy sticks, no beams to protect it from falling. We're trying to help other people before we help ourselves, and then we're feeling more resentment and shame around the lack of attention that we're paying to ourselves. And that is keeping us from elevating because the platform is still rooted in envy and anger. That is low vibration. And so we have to, as a collective now, understand that this is not just on a physical level of being. You can't just take yourself to the gym. You really have to work through the kinks of the mind. You have to work through the kinks of the body. You have to really feel all that you have felt in this lifetime so you can heal. And that starts with simplifying the mind, simplifying the program, questioning your reality, questioning your awareness, questioning your kindness, questioning your motives. There can be so much solved if we just stopped being lazy and really started paying attention to ourselves and what we needed, because a lot of us actually know. If we just shut out all the noise, we would know. But we're so addicted to the noise that we can't even allow ourselves to breathe. Most of society's nervous system is in fight or flight mode or survival mode. And so most of the time, with that happening, they're covering that up with Adderall. They're covering that up with Xanax and, Klonopins and weed and alcohol. And they're constantly in some feeling of fear. And that fear is really there because sometimes, some way in their life, they lost a sense of wonder. They lost a sense of willingness, of curiosity, of excitement, of playfulness. Their inner child got lost. And so they are thinking, oh, I have to be an adult. And that means an adult does adult things. When in fact, the most brilliant minds out there have kept a hold of their inner child and have allowed their inner child and feminine energy to flow through them and to keep them open to play and excitement and joy that can be found in the most simplest of things, and that is creation, that's life. So when we speak life over our water, we speak life over the food we're ingesting, we speak life into our intention of our day, we actually are speaking the Mother Nature's call into being a better and most beautiful version of ourselves. Most of the time, we only ever feel this sense of depression when we don't speak life into our life. When we're sitting in stagnant fear and depression. Why am I like this? I'm a victim to my life. My life is terrible. I hate my life. Those words just take your heart and they say, she doesn't love me. So, breath. When those feelings of anxiety come up, when those feelings of worry come up, the first thing I want you to turn to is your breath. I really love a glass of tea, whether that's in the morning or at night before bed. Sitting with a glass of tea allows you to really open up to what herbs can say to you and how healing they can be to you when you're holding them the way they're holding you up. It feels so familiar to sit with a cup of tea because tea really speaks to the adrenals, it really speaks to the nervous system and moves you into a space of peace and tranquility. And just that little space being held by that cup of tea will calm your nervous system and bring you into a grounded state of calm. The power of tea is so, so important. And when we really take the time to understand these herbs and understand their calling to our body and why they're so significant to our existence, we can really take the time to move into our yin energy and recognize that we can actually become one with our environment, become one with nature, become one with the extension of the heart that we are, that we lost. So, yeah, these are some of my little tricks and tips that I do. I also, my inner child, I'm a Leo, so I'm very childish. And one of my favorite things to do, tutu again, one of my favorite things to do is dance or sing some really heartfelt song about somebody breaking my heart, but how I find peace in this, or how I, you know, I've overcome it. I think there's so much power in like female vocalists, and so I try to release energy through singing and dancing, and that has really opened me up to my heart and my inner child, and letting her know it's okay to come have fun, that you don't have to be an adult forever. Um, but yeah, so I think it's really important to take the time to just slow down. I think it's important to take the time to rest, to speak life over your journey, to speak life over your experience. What you are going through is not where you are destined to be. And when we really take the time to know and trust in spirit, trust in the divine's plan, um, you're more open to presence. And in presence, you understand that you are a god, a goddess, okay? And there's so much more power than you realize. So trust it. Trust in every single moment being a part of your creation and being a part of your ability to expand and grow. And if you're not doing that, are you really in love? 222 on the clock right now, 44 in my percentage. I'm feeling like pulling one card. I love doing a card for myself a day. Okay, collective, you are healing from double lotus. Okay? Some of you are leaving a relationship that you thought was going to last forever. Some of you are leaving a part of a life that you used to live, and like you're becoming a new version of you. And with that, it's okay to not be okay. Know that there is going to be more that comes from your life's journey, and that what's ending is not over. Just something is dying so it can be reborn again, okay? Like our cells, which are constantly birthing and birthing anew at every second. We have to recognize that in our hearts, through the heartbreak, we actually break open. And that is how we learn our greatest lessons. That is how we grow, and that's how we evolve, through the ability of letting things go so they can expand into more. into love, into peace, into a better understanding. So I think that's really important to know right now. Um, yeah, these are just some of my tips. I feel like there's a ton more, but if you are interested in learning more about divining and getting into the body, or getting into nutritional foods that keep your body regulated and happy and healthy, or even just, want to reading and want to talk about your life. Like, I hope that I can be of assistance to you and be a friend to you and help you get on track so you can enjoy the fruits of your labor and you can find your purpose and find your reason for being here on this earth. I think that we all have a purpose, and I think we all are being called here at this time to bring a sense of wonder and bring a sense of joy to this earth again, and that all of our lessons are not in vain. And when we can lean into our shadow and we can lean into our sorrow, we can ultimately find joy from it, and we can ultimately find reason in our pain. And everything can be transmuted. Everything can be, you know, changed. But that comes with the ability to want to. I literally just farted. But yeah, so cry your tears, understand that where you're going is not where you've been, and there is going to be an opening so wide in your heart when you just accept that all that is happening is not to harm you, but to open you up and to really establish a sense of humbleness and awareness that we are not bigger or greater than nature. We are just here to work as a part of an ecosystem with nature and able in order to incorporate a better style of being and a better style of living for everyone. Nobody is better than the other. Nobody is greater than the other. We're here because we have to be in union with ourselves. And that ultimately puts us in union with each other and puts us in union with nature. So hopefully those tips helped. I'm grateful to be here as always and grateful to provide this space. If you want to reach out, you can email me at yangyin dot yangyinstudio.space. So that's YANGYINSTUDIOS at gmail.com. And yeah, I'd love to start the conversation with you and learn more about you. And from here on out, I will see you next time.